In 1932, perfumer Jean Carles was presented with this brief: create a perfume a prostitute would wear. And Tabu by Dana is what he came up with. The House of Dana was a perfumery founded in Barcelona in the early 1930s by Javier Serra, who was a lawyer for another perfume house. The name Dana is a reference to Danae, the mother of Perseus in Greek mythology. And I'll just read you this from the brand. Dana means success in the old and mysterious Basque language, white pearl in Arabic and Buddhism, and sweet awakening in Afghan culture. It's also an island in the Pacific where youth has no sunset. According to brand lore, Javier was walking down the street and saw a book in a shop window. The book was Sigmund Freud's Totem and Taboo. His imagination ran wild with the word taboo, and he conceived of the brief, a perfume a prostitute would wear, and hired Jean Carles to carry it out. Tabu was one of the foundational scents in what was a new genre of perfume at the time, the ambery scent. Jean Carles gave it an overdose of patchouli, married with sandalwood, amber, civet, clove, and then florals, including jasmine and rose, made it very heavy. In fact, it reminds me a lot of a theater dressing room where you have the scent of makeup and hairspray, and it also smells very similar to Schiaparelli Shocking, which Jean Carles also created. It doesn't smell the same, but it's like how directors have a style. We all know Tim Burton and Wes Anderson when we see it. This is a Jean Carles. Internet says that this was the signature scent of Dorothy Dandridge, the first Black woman nominated for a Best Actress Academy Award, but I have not been able to find a primary source for this. The closest I got was a 1952 article in Ebony that a librarian found on microfiche and scanned for me. But if you're a Dorothy Dandridge fan, this might be the perfume for you. Okay, now let's take a look at this particular bottle. When I was first learning about this perfume, I was wondering, why a violin? The original ads for Tabu featured this 1901 painting, the Kreutzer Sonata, which was in turn inspired by the novella by Leo Tolstoy. The story behind the painting is that the violinist is overtaken by passion for his accompanist, so he stops the performance and throws aside his violin. And they found creative ways of incorporating the painting with the tagline, "The Forbidden Fragrance." So much so that the violin became its symbol. I found this pristine bottle of Tabu at the estate sale of a very fancy old woman. May she rest in fabulous peace. And you can come to my new perfume shop in Seattle to experience it in person.